Hi chaps, Simo P here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. What I've got for you today is a two-part series called Simo's Sweet Spots. Now this is going to focus on underutilized spots or locations you may or may not know about on maps that can allow you to influence the game more and have a bigger impact on how the game does or doesn't play out. So hopefully you find it useful. So I'm going to do a sort of top 10. First position we have is on mines. As most people should know if you've been playing this game a little while, it is the very middle of the map, the big hill that dominates this battlefield. If you can get up there quick enough, you have field of fire all the way into the enemy base, and it's very useful to get there. Usually only mediums and lights can get there. So where I go is generally this spot we're coming up to right now in E4. Now the reason I go to this location is I know the enemy mediums and lights are going to be racing to the top of the hill. Right here shields you from incoming RT, heavy and medium fire from the red team's base and bottom of the hill, but allows you to get shots on tanks as they're racing up to the top of the hill. So initially you're not looking to do a lot of damage in this location, just to immobilize tanks, leave them out in the open so your team can do the damage to them, you get your assisted damage, and this allows your mediums, lights to push onto the hill and start pouring punishment into the heavies and mediums at the bottom of the ramp and that are sitting camping in their base. The next replay I'm going to show you is Arctic region. Now there's two spots on this map that I quite like using. One of them I hardly ever see anyone use, the other one is used a little bit more. It's generally better for your more agile tanks, but in this case the Cromwell will work well enough just to highlight the point I'm trying to make. I just want to do a big thank you to Total Creeper. Thank you for bearing with me setting up this training room while we've got this replay together. I know it was a bit painful at times, but thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. So generally in this map, heavies, mediums usually go to this point, this choke point, and there's usually a trade of fire between here and B1. So what I like to do is get a nice manoeuvrable tank, good gun depression. Batchat works well here, and just move over here, get some assisted damage so you can see the enemy heavies as they creep round the corner and start putting damage into them. Also gives you a nice field of fire if anyone's trying to sneak round the D3, D4 line. That's all you gotta do, just keep pushing back and forth and wait for them to come and start putting shots into them. Now at this point you're just waiting for Total to appear just to highlight the point a little bit more. Yep, there goes the tree, there he is. The next position I'm going to show you is essentially opposite this one, and a good position to get into to keep your body armour safe and just sort of reveal your turret armour. So it's a good locations for T29s, T32s, and it's at C2, C3. There's a nice little dip with a rock on one side where you can get shots over to the bunker while just exposing a very limited amount of your turrets, even hull armour, full stop. So it's really useful, allows you to hold up enemy play for quite a while without taking much return fire. Now this is the spot just here. Now you're able to use the rock on the right to screen you from any tanks that are advancing along D4, D5 trying to get side shots. It keeps you nice and safe, and you can use that if you have a long reload, say for a T57 heavy for example, to keep out of enemy harm's way. Next map we've got is Ivernka. Now generally this map's won between two sides hill fighting on the left hand side, as well as a couple of mediums, the occasional TD that go through the forest. So I'm just going to show you a location that I use. It's more of a support role. Anything from a medium to any sort of tiger class should be ideal here. It's far enough from the fighting where your armour doesn't matter too much and it's more about your gun. The location we're going to go to is G4. Now what you're going to see here is there's a mound on the right of this location that is going to keep you protected from any shots from the forest area. So any TDs lurking on the ridgeline there, or any mediums or heavies that are starting to push towards the middle of the map, they're not going to be shot be able to get shots onto you, but you're going to be able to support your tanks pushing down the 2 line, getting shots onto the hill on C1 and C2. Again, we've got total highlighting for us just a push, but this position also allows you to be quite flexible. If you can see the forest is falling, the right flank's collapsing, you can push round and you can use that mound to keep you protected from tanks that are shooting down the 1, 2, 3, 4 line. Again, just keeps your body nice protected, conserves your hit points, and allows you to play onto the end game and have a bigger impact. Now this one's quite interesting on Malinovka. I think I first saw someone else do it actually before I tried it out. Now you only really want to be doing this with very quick tanks, so we're talking Russian mediums, T-54 upwards, any light tank with a good autoloader, so the Bulldog, Lycan, Batchat's going to be really good here. So it's a very, very aggressive move. So you're pushing all the way across the map. There's a very good chance you're going to get spotted, but it shouldn't matter too much. You're going to get some spots on them, but your aim here isn't really to worry about being spotted. So what you're able to do if you are spotted as you're running down the ridge line, you can actually slide down the cliff. If you do it on an angle, you'll at most take track damage. It shouldn't even track you. So you want to carry on pushing up to the ramp ahead of you, probably in a bigger tank than this, so you're not slowed down by the water and almost drown yourself. On a replay, you're going to show other people. So for the time being, just ignore total putting shots into me. He's having fun laughing at me in party chat. So going up this ramp, as you can see, what it allows you to do on the right is allows you to get spots, as well as put damage into all the heavies, mediums and TDs that are going to the very top of the hill along the AB line. Now what you want to be doing is either trying to track them to slow their deployment, so that means your teammates will be facing less enemy tanks at the very top, or spotting them for your TDs that are sitting back along the 9-0 line. And what you can also do here is get shots into the left of you. So if someone really wants to get rid of you, they've really got to dig you out and put some serious effort. So that should have a big impact on the game. Now if you spawn north, I've just got another little location that I use quite a lot. Now this one again is to do, you probably want either a TD or a medium or a heavy with quite a good gun and good spotting ability. So what you're looking to do here is just to get in position along D4, D5 to get spots into red team tanks going up to the top of the hill. Now this will allow you again slow them down, stop their deployment, and potentially stop a number of them getting to the top of the hill, basically spotted, and your TDs and RT, if they're not potatoes, should be wrecking them, we hope. So just to highlight the point, I've got total and a mouse, and we're pushing forward. Just keep using the trees as cover, and we should see him pop up any minute now. We're being quite cautious because I'm not certain if he's going to try and put a shot into me or not, just because he thinks it'll be funny. So this is the location just here. I'm just shooting to let him know where I am, that I'm in the position, and that he can start moving. So we just push to the top of the ridge using the trees as camo on the left hand side, and what do you know it, we spot Total and his mouse on his way up to the hill. Spotted him at this point. TDs and your RT should be raining in on him. If not, you can start firing shots in yourself. The main point at this location is to get you physical damage, assisted damage, and hopefully have a bigger influence on the game and slowing down the enemy's deployment. Now we've got cliffs right here. What I always find on cliffs is the match is pretty much won on the middle ridge line. Now the best way I've always found as a medium you can have an impact on this game is, rather than going to the ridge line, is going straight forward for the donut on DEF. Now so it's only going to work if you're in a fairly fast tank. So again we're talking Russian mediums, light tanks, and we're going to it looks like a bit of a YOLO, spot a couple of enemies that are going down the main one line, but what we really want to do is get to the donut in the middle and start spotting the enemy team as they start coming up to the ridge line. Again, you're looking to slow down their deployment, get some track damage, take out front drive wheels, looking to get assisted damage, hopefully your RT's raining in as well. You want as few tanks as possible going to the main hotspot on this map. Now, again, the main reason for that is it's fairly simple. The fewer guns the enemy have when coming up against your tanks just means the quicker your team will be able to deal with the tanks that do get through, and they'll have better knowledge of what they're up against, and hopefully that will make their gameplay improve. They've got a bit of intelligence, and they can figure out how they want to play the map. Now, also gives you the ability to have a little look over, try and spot the TDs that are lying in wait along the one line, as well as any arty if they're being really daft and come a little bit too far forward. Now, this is part 1, guys. We're going to be doing part 2 of the top 10, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all this weekend, so over the next day or two. I hope you like it, found it useful. If you've got any spots that you want to let me know about, feel free to add to Simo's sweet spot. So until next time, chaps, I'll catch you later.